Hey guys, this video is about gang stalking. I just want to talk about, I didn't experience gang stalking in my time being a targeted individual until around about the end of last year, where I deleted my Facebook profile because that was being controlled. I deleted my Google account because that was being controlled, because they have backdoor access to Google and Facebook. And they can do whatever they want. They can block your messages to whoever they want, to limit your communications and all that. But once I did this, it came around the same time. I figured out who was doing this to me, and I figured out that they were the CIA. And after that, immediately after that, I was kept up for 3 days. And then when I returned from the hospital the one day, I had gang stalkers from the day after that. And the gang stalkers that stalked me were lookalikes. So they would find people that look like the people I know. They found lookalikes for my ex, and my ex became a TI, and they actually used her to try and kill me. They made her attack me with an axe while I was sleeping, and from that day on I locked my room and I never slept in the same bed as her again. But yeah, the gang stalkers also, I'm not sure if they'll use the same cars, but they'll use different people in the same cars. They'll also, in some instances of gang stalking, I believe they move into your apartment, like they'll buy their own flat in your apartment just so that they can monitor you from there, because they need contingencies and all that stuff. And they also hide the location that you're at. I don't know if you guys have noticed your computer, if you geolocate your IP address of your computer, you'll find out that it bounces around Cape Town. And that signal is so that their enemies can't find you as a targeted individual. This is if you've labeled yourself one publicly, because then you'll be monitored. And for instance, if I'm being targeted by the CIA, there are other people in South Africa that have the equipment. Not everyone that operates with this equipment is CIA. I believe there are multiple systems for multiple companies, or they have a multi-organizational agreement that goes through multiple organizations where they all work off the same system, but they kind of don't interfere with each other. So yeah, the gang stalking, all it is a scare tactic. I mean, when I was getting gang stalked, I had loads of people in my complex. It was just before Christmas, so if I told anyone, then they would have just thought I was crazy, because my gang stalkers would come into my complex, go to the communal braai area, and start a fire and have a braai in the area while they were gang stalking me. And they could access my apartment, my apartment complex, and I think this access was obviously given to them by someone, so they got, because I got a RFID tag that opens the gate, and I know from my experience and my equipment that I bought for less than 200 Rand, I can copy those RFID tags and replicate the signals that they have. So it's not that hard. And if they can scan your brain, they can obviously scan the RFID card, and everything nowadays has it's like wireless compatible. Like the credit cards nowadays as well, they can access your credit cards remotely to get your information if they want. So yeah, through the gang stalking I went, it finished, it stopped when I started an investigation, but all of it was just scare tactics. I mean, I would look out my sliding door into a parking lot, and my voices would make cars stop, go forward, reverse, go forward, reverse. They'd make people like dance like chickens outside my apartment. They would time people, so I have on my surveillance, my camera system, people waiting for me to go out the front of my flat, so that they can start their shenanigans where they're dancing and doing stupid cuck, and it's all aimed at me. But obviously when this is happening to you, don't go to the authorities. Don't tell people in your complex or your building or whatever about what's going on. Just ignore it completely, because the best advice I can give is ignore it. Don't fight it. Ignore everyone that's doing this to you, because by ignoring it, it takes the power away from your targeters, because they want you to be fearful, they want you to be scared, they want you to notice all this cuck, they want you to tell people about it, and if you tell people, you're just going to seem crazy. So don't tell people. Me personally, when my gang stalking started, I sat down with headphones on, listening to music, and I just painted. I did something constructive and used my mind on that to take my mind off of what was going on outside. And the fact that I put headphones on prevented my targeters from using auditory hallucinations. So they couldn't screw with me and make me think there's someone at my front door, make me think there's someone at my back door, and they couldn't make me think that people were talking about me. So by putting on headphones and completely closing out that door for them, it annoyed them a lot. They no longer allow me to listen to music in silence because of how much I embarrassed them when they sent gang stalkers here. They must have paid these gang stalkers money to scare me, and I was not scared at all. I didn't care about what they were doing. I opened the front door and the back door of my flat to show how little I cared, or how unsafe I didn't feel. And then I just sat down and painted, sometimes through the night when I was kept up, and sometimes, most of the time during the day. But this was the best way to combat the gang stalking. And obviously gang stalking can also lead to being killed, because I actually had proper gangsters in my complex during the gang stalking, where they were here for me, to kill me, but they hid everything within the gang stalking because I couldn't tell the difference. But I just told the security at my complex once. I said the CIA is trying to kill me, and that story spread through the security very, very quickly, obviously, because they were laughing at me. But this protected my life, because now everybody in my complex and the people that own the complex know the story about the CIA trying to kill me. And now if I die in my complex, it will prove that I was right, and everybody that works for the people that own this place would know. So that kind of protected me as well. But the best thing to do against gang stalking is just ignore it completely. 100% ignore it. Don't react to it. Don't feel unsafe. If these people wanted to kill you, they could kill you no matter what, because they can control your heart. They can just make you have a heart attack and die, and no one would be the wiser. It would just look like you had a heart attack. So the gang stalking is all just fear tactics to make you kill yourself so that you feel unsafe in your own environment. And as I said, if these people wanted to kill you, they could. They would just switch you off remotely, no matter where you were. They can get into almost any house, any complex, any building that you're in. So fearing them and trying to run from them is a stupid idea, because they can't actually do anything. They need you to kill yourself. It's part of the game. After you become label yourself a TI, they have to get you to kill yourself, or they can make it look like a freak accident. I know they were going to rob me, make it look like a robbery, and like a gang-related robbery, because I had some equipment in my flat that gangsters might have been interested in. But that's what I believe they told people about my equipment, and that that was the reason they were going to use. They actually used my ex-girlfriend to rob me, and I take it she would kill me because she became a TI because of me, and she obviously blames me, and my targeters told her that if she killed me they'd leave her alone, which I highly doubt they did or would have done. She would have killed me, and she would have gone to jail, where she'd probably be murdered in jail. So yeah, gang stalking, don't tell anyone about it. No one will understand. Everyone will think you're crazy if you start telling them that people are doing this stuff just for you, because it sounds crazy. Just the way that you tell people about it, it's going to make them think you're crazy. So yeah, I used headphones. It was the perfect way to combat it, and then I put my head down and did something constructive with my time so I could concentrate on something else other than the gang stalking that was going on around me. And this made the people doing this to me probably lost a lot of money trying to get me to be scared of them, because I ignored everyone that they sent here, and everything that they did was just a huge big waste of time, which is my goal. My goal is to waste as much time of my targeters that I can until they either kill me or they leave me alone. And I don't believe they will leave me alone, but I am slowly exposing them for who they actually are, and this is putting my life in danger obviously, but I don't care. I want to push out the truth as much as I can and help people as much as I can, because there's no support in South Africa. So yeah, that's a video about gang stalking. Cheers.